Boys and girls, who is this?
St. Therese.
Yep, so you know who St. Therese is. Now, me and Brian followed St. Therese around the whole of Scotland, her relics, right? And thousands and thousands of people came to see her. Were any of you there? Do you see her? You were there? You were there? Anyone else? Quite a lot. So you went to Carfin, right? So you saw the huge crowds, didn't you? So, can you tell me a bit about St. Therese? Do you know anything about her? No? Yeah.
She was like too young to go into church, but she still went in.
Very good, yeah. So St. Therese was a very young girl and she wanted to be desperate to be a nun, but the rules were that she was too young at the time. But she managed, and she was desperate to be it, that she went to the Pope and she petitioned the Pope, and the Pope agreed, and she became a nun at 15, which is very, very young. I know this is a painting of her, and she looks a wee bit older, but she was very young, not much older than yourself. So you're only about 10, 11? Younger? 10, 11? Right, okay. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, I wanted to explain the idea of what a relic is, right? But first of all, you need to understand as well what a saint is. So can anyone tell me what a saint is? Can you tell me what a saint is?
Someone that's full of God.
Yep, that's one way of calling it. Yep, what about yourself?
Someone like Jesus.
Oh yeah, of course.
A holy person.
Yep.
Also someone who's a Catholic that follows Jesus and they can only be a saint once they pass away.
Exactly, that's exactly the point I was going to make. A saint is someone who has died but is friends with God, right? And they're in heaven with God, and the church acknowledges that they're in heaven, right? And they do that from various signs. So they send miracles, intercessions, and there's also an examination of their life and how good they were. And that's what the church says. But there's thousands of other people, maybe some people you've known, who are in heaven, but they're not acknowledged as saints because, well, the church takes people who are extremely, extremely good examples for others and uses them as an example. So St. Therese was one of them. And that is why so many thousands of people, for I'll drop her picture, so many thousands of people came out to see her because she was so loved and so special, and she carried out so many miracles from heaven. She said, one of the things St. Therese said was, do you know her famous quote she said? Do you know the quote? She said, after my death, I will let drop a shower of roses. So she said that, and that's she wanted to spend her heaven doing good on earth, and she sent so much miracles for us, and that's St. Therese, right? So that is why when her relics were going about, people were so desperate to go and see her because of the so many graces that St. Therese gave people. But so, we're talking about relics. What is a relic? What do you understand of a relic? Yeah?
It's like bones of a saint.
Yeah, so it can be any part, but mainly it's bones. So in that big casket you saw St. Therese, that was her bones, right? And that was carried around. But why are relics important? How can we understand relics?
Not because it's like someone special.
Yep.
It's like some people were like named after saints and things like that, so it's like special that
Right.
relics are there just to remind people that she was
Exactly, that's the key word, remind. What about yourself?
like it's kind of part of them.
Yeah, so it is part of them. So I'm going to give you a wee example to show you, just to kind of think another way about relics. Now, you might have seen this before. You might not have seen it before. Let's see. Now, don't ask. Look at, what is this? Yeah.
Celtic.
Yeah, it's a Celtic strip, right? Any Celtic fans here? Yeah, so this is quite an important strip for people, isn't it? Is this an important strip?
Yeah.
How much does it cost? Yeah, it's expensive, yeah, but is it any different from any other strip?
Well, yeah, there's different colours, teams, badges, sponsors.
Right, so what makes this strip special?
Because it's been signed.
It's been signed by him, yeah. But really, basically, it's just a strip like anything else. It's a strip, it's got material. Kieran Tierney, who used to play with Celtic, he came from Wishaw as well, he signed it, so that makes it special. It's a reminder to me of a game he played for Celtic. He played for Celtic. It doesn't change the strip, right? The strip's no different. It's just pen, it's still the same material, but the meaning has changed off it because Kieran Tierney signed it. So when it comes to talking about relics of saints, we're talking about things. There's 3 ways the church talks about relics. There's 3 types. Do you know the 3 types? Anyone know any 3 types? So you've got a first-class relic, which is a piece of the saint's body or bones, which we saw with St. Therese. You've got a second-class relic, which is something the saint owned. It could be rosary, these are mine, but it could have been a saint's rosary beads or a crucifix or another item. And you've got a third-class relic, which is something which people would touch to the first class. So if you're talking about, like you see people at St. Therese's relics, they touch the rose beads to it, they touch a bit of paper to it. And the idea is, just like that's a reminder, it's a reminder to us all of what we believe as Catholics. That when we die, our body and soul are separated at death. Our souls that's inside us go to heaven, and our bodies remain on earth. And the word relics really just means remains, right? But when our bodies are dead, they're still important because we're both body and soul. What do we say in the Creed every Sunday at Mass? What's one of the lines in the Creed? Yeah. The resurrection of the body, right? So, although we've separated from our souls and our bodies are separated at death, they're not going to be separated forever, because at the end of time, when Jesus comes back, final day, our bodies and souls are going to be reunited again. So can you imagine now, for me, that strip is special, right? It's a special strip. I'm a Celtic fan and I really liked Kieran Tierney until he went to Arsenal. But anyway, don't talk about that, right? Too soon. But that's special to me. But now imagine how special a relic is of someone who is no longer here and is now with God, right? Imagine how special that is. Imagine having someone, I mean, Kieran's a good footballer, but he's not a saint. Not yet, anyway. But we're talking about someone like St. Therese, or in this case here, St. Therese's parents. So, that's what I want to talk about here. When me and Brian finished doing the relics visit, as a way of thanks, the person who runs the shrine in Lisieux, the French priest, gifted me and Brian 2 first-class relics of St. Therese's parents. So that's same there, in this wee reliquary. You can see either side. So that's part of their bone, right? So when I look at these relics, I don't see something creepy or something gory. I see beyond that, and you see the fact that these are people who lived. They lived real lives and inspiring us, because their saintly lives can inspire us onwards, yeah? And also at the last day as well, these bodies will resurrect and be joined with their souls who are now with God in heaven. So that's the beauty of relics, the fact that we can be inspired, but also the reality of what is to come for all of us, which is our ultimate goal, is to be saints. We're all going to be saints if we do the right thing in life. So that's something you need to think about, that every single one of us is called to be a saint. Me, Mrs. McCrossan, Brian over there, everyone else is called. And that's what we have to do. That's why the use of relics, the use of other things, reminds us of that fact. So that's what. Remember I mentioned the 3 types of relics? What were the 3? First class, second class, and third class, which is a wee bit of thing, paper or cloth or rose bead that touches a first class relic. Now today, we're going to make our own third class relics. You get to keep them, because we've produced these wee cards. I think there's enough for everyone, hope so. And you can touch your card to the relic of St. Louis and Zélie, who was St. Therese's parents. And then you can always keep that and always think about their example. Do you know anything about St. Louis and St. Zélie? Nothing at all. So they're Therese's parents, the Martin family. They're a very holy family. And they are a good example for us, because it shows us that vocation is not just becoming a priest or becoming a nun or anything like that. They simply lived their lives as a married couple, raising their family in a good way. And they actually wanted to be a monk. Zélie wanted to be a sister, but it wasn't to be. They tried it, it wasn't to be, it wasn't their vocation. Their vocation was to each other and to raise a good family. And how many children did they have? Do you know? Close. Any other guesses? 8 they did. No, actually, they had 9. They had 9, but 4 died when they were babies. And what happened to the other 5? 5 sisters.
St. Therese grew up to be a nun, and then I don't know if there was one of them didn't quite believe.
Right. What one was that?
I can't remember her name.
Right.
And then the other 4 just grew up to be Catholic.
Well, all 5 of them became religious sisters. All 5 of them did. One you may be thinking about is Leonie, who could be a saint in future, but she struggled with problems with anxieties and worries in her life, and she didn't wasn't as smart as the rest of our family, wasn't as skilled, because we're very skilled. St. Therese could paint marks. If you go to Carfin Grotto and you go up to the wee glass chapel at the top, you can see an original painting by St. Therese's sister of St. Therese, and it shows you how skilled they were. Louis and Zélie. Louis was a watchmaker and a jeweller. And if you look at the back of this relic here, this is a replica of the medal he gave St. Therese at her First Communion. So that's how skilled he was. He made that himself. If you go to France, you'll see all the clocks he made and all the wee watches he made. Very skilled man. Also very well off as well. And Zélie was also a lace maker. She made fine lace. Used their talents. That's the key. The key about the saints are they were normal people. They lived normal lives. They had bodies, which we can see, but they used their talents for God. That's what you can do as well. So, what's your name? Where are you from? What town are you from? Belsill. So, your future is St. Lorna of Belsill. That's you. That's the title that God wants you to be. No matter how you're going to do it, but that's your title. And that's what God has imprinted. Everybody is called to become a saint. What about yourself?
Mia.
Mia of where?
Wishaw.
So say Mia of Wishaw. Why not? You know what I mean? Yourself?
Neve.
Where are you from?
Wishaw.
St. Neve of Wishaw. Yeah? What about yourself?
Kira.
Where are you from?
Wishaw.
There's a lot of saints in Wishaw, isn't there? So, what's your name then?
Kira.
So St. Kira of Wishaw. That's what God wants you to be. It doesn't matter. Everyone's different, but doing different things. What about yourself?
Mirren.
Where are you from?
Wishaw.
There's a surprise. St. Mirren of Wishaw. Yeah? What about yourself?
Lindsay.
Where are you from?
Wishaw.
So, what's yours?
St. Lindsay of Wishaw.
There you go. Yourself?
Emily.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Is there something different? We'll give you a bit of mix here. So, St. Emily of Coltness. Yeah? What about yourself?
Emily.
And where are you from?
Coltness.
Well, there's two Emilys. We'll give you a wee bit of rivals here. The two St. Emilys of Coltness. Yourself?
Ruben.
Where are you from?
Wishaw.
St. Reuben of Wishaw. That sounds quite good. What about yourself? Where are you from? So, St. Olivia of Coltness. Yep.
Abby.
From where?
Coltness.
St. Abbey of Coltness. Yep.
Kiva.
Yep.
Wishaw.
Yep. St. Kiva of Wishaw. Yourself?
Liam.
Where are you from? St. Liam of Wishaw. Now, people don't think about it, but we are all called to be saints, and we can do it. And how do we do it? How do we do it?
Believing.
Keep believing. Well, that's a simple way. Keep believing. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? Is that a song? I think it is. Yeah.
Be like a good person.
Yeah, of course. That's the best. That's the basic line. But there's more to that as well. What all these saints have in common is they put God first in their lives, right? So everything they did, they offered to God. So you all got hopes to be a saint, but you all get different ways of doing it, and you've all got different vocations in life. Their vocation is to be parents. St. Therese's vocation is to be a sister. Other people can be saints. All it is putting God first. Keep on going to Mass. If you make a mistake, we all make mistakes, we're human. Saints are human as well. Go to confession. Start again. But keep on going. Keep believing, as you said. Was you said? Was you? You said it. Keep believing. And that's it. That's the hope. And that's why relics are so important in this endeavour, because they show us the humanity of the saints and what we all get bodies, and we've all got a future ahead of us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass out a wee card for you, all right? And you all can come up and you all can touch it to the relic and touch a wee card against it, and that's it, a third class relic. Leave it there. There you go. Unless you've got a third class relic. Yeah, there you go. So just look at that wee bit there, see it? Two wee bits. That's Louis and Zélie. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. 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 So you've all got third class relic. Keep them safe, because they're and always ask for intercession in Louis and Zélie, because they're a good example. They looked after the family so well, and they can look after you as well spiritually if you pray to them. Okay? So is there any questions? Yep. So you all know what a first class relic is? Yep. And you know what a second class relic is? What's a second class relic? Yep. Rosary beads are something they owned. It could be a cloth, it could be a napkin, it could be anything they owned as a relic. Yep. And the third class relic is you've got in your hand now as well. Something that's touched the first. This lady here is Mother Angeline. And Mother Angeline was in the same order as St. Therese. And do you know where Mother Angeline lived? She lived in a wee town called Moss End, which is not far from you live, Belsill. Now, She's on track to become a saint. She's venerable.
She's still living.
She's dead now. You've got to be dead to be a saint, remember? You've got to be dead. Key point. But she is on track. She's venerable. So do you know what's the stages of being a saint? Do you know how it happens? What's the process? Any idea? Yep.
Pope needs to recognise it.
Pope does. That's a wee bit further on. Yep.
Do you not need to do a miracle?
Not initially, but that does have to happen. Yep.
You need to help someone.
Yep. So the first stage, right? The person dies. Okay. And then have to wait a bit of time, because when someone dies, people get upset and emotional and they start saying, oh, everyone thinks the best of someone that's died. So they wait a wee bit of time. They wait. It's now 5 years now. It used to be a bit longer, but they wait till 5 years. And then they start saying, well, people are saying this person was really good. He lived a good life. He went to the sacraments, he went to Mass. We're going to look at this person being a saint. Let's think about it. And people might have a devotion to the person. They might start praying to that person, and because they think that person's in heaven, right? So they might think, well, we'll pray to them because they're with God and they can pray to God for us. They can intercede for us. So what happens then? Then the diocese where the person died, the bishop has to decide that there's a case to answer. So they have to say, oh, well, in this case, they died in France, and the French bishop had to say, let's collect everything they've written, okay? Let's collect their textbooks, let's collect their letters, let's collect their notes. Maybe nowadays it would be your text messages or your Facebook messages or whatever you use, and see what you wrote, because they've got to explore if they were really, really that good, or it's just people saying it, because people can make up a story, you know? They've got to explore everything. And then the stage comes at the end of that when the bishop says, there's nothing here barring this problem. There's nothing here. They call it in Latin nihil obstat. It's like a stamp for the bishop saying, there's nothing here stopping this cause. They've lived what appears to be a good life. The cause can proceed. And they're given a title. They're given a title, Servant of God. So this one's out of date. I'll get you an updated one. She's now venerable, but this was the first stage. You're called Servant of God. So it means you can pray to them. You can ask for intercession, okay? And then someone is appointed, like a priest, to look into that cause. Then anyone heard of the next stage? Do you know what the next stage is? Yep. Begins with a V. Venerable. That means you can venerate them. So Mother Angeline's venerable now because the Pope, which you said over there, the Pope decried that she lived a life of they call it heroic virtue. So she's venerable. What's the next stage?
Saint.
One before it. Yep. Begins with a B. Blessed. Become blessed in a process called beatified. You need one miracle to be beatified. And it has to be approved by a doctor and scientists, and have to look into it and approve this is a true miracle and not just something that's made up. So the big panel looks into these things. It takes years. And then to become a saint, you need another miracle. Okay? After you become beatified, so then you become servant of God, venerable, blessed, and then saint. So we're praying that she was born in Ireland, but she grew up in Scotland, that this woman will become blessed very soon. A lot of people are praying to her as well. So she's another one, but it just shows you how many saints there are out there. Thousands and thousands of saints in heaven, and a lot more than you've never heard of, but they're there. And what day do we celebrate those saints who have never been heard of? Coming quite soon. Yeah. It's called All Saints. Now, what's the big party day coming up soon? Yeah, what does Halloween mean?
Is it Hallows Eve?
Yep, so All Hallows Eve. What does hallow mean? Do you know what it means?
Is it like, we say it in a prayer?
You say it in what prayer do you say it in?
Our Father.
Yep, so you say, hallowed be thy name. What does hallowed mean?
Glory.
Holy, saint. So that's where it comes from. All Hallows Eve, All Saints Eve, the day before November the 1st, which is All Saints Day. So that's what we hope about our Saints Day as well, because we all hope to be saints. We might not be named by the church saints, but we hope to be in heaven, and that's our day, All Saints Day. So that's coming soon. So you're doing Halloween, and all that fun you have. You think about the reason behind it. It's All Hallows Eve, Halloween. It comes from Christian tradition. Yeah? Why don't you dress up as a saint this year? What are you dressing up as?
I think a zombie cheerleader.
A zombie cheerleader? What about yourself?
No idea.
No idea yet. Why not pick a saint? I mean, the saints are some of the most craziest, amazing people on earth. Look up the stories of the saints. There's much more exciting than a zombie cheerleader, for goodness sake. Do you know what I mean? So you've got all these, that's what I'm trying to say. There's so many different types. What was St. Therese's nickname?
Oh, little flower.
Little Flower, yeah. You know why she's called that?
Because she's the saint of flowers.
No, not quite. Before she went to become a nun, she spoke to her, what are you going to say?
Did you not say like when she died?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why they use it. But it comes directly from something her father said. When she spoke to her father about becoming a nun, he went down to the garden and picked up a little flower with its roots and said, "You're my little flower." And the symbolism of that was she was uprooting herself from her home and was replanting herself in the convent. So that's where the title comes from, Little Flower. But St. Therese also, in her story, she wrote that everyone's different in different ways, right? So she's a little flower, but she said that in springtime, the flowers don't get jealous of each other. They all come together as flowers, and their beauty is their difference in the different flowers that they have. So when it comes to being saints, like the little flower, we're all different flowers in a sense.